Well, hello, sports fans. It's Larry Eater with RunBlogRun. I'm in San Jose, California. You see Stuart Weir to my right, and he's in Oxford, England. Hello, Stuart. How are you?
Hi. Well, it's got a bit cold here with us, but otherwise it's all fine.
So define cold. How cold is it?
Well, because we do centigrade rather than Celsius rather than Fahrenheit, so it's it's certainly a good 10 to 15 degrees less than it was last week.
Whoa. Okay.
So sitting out in the garden last week, but wearing a sweater this week. That kind of change.
Understand. Yeah, I was. You were asking me just before we got on. Yesterday, drove down with my girlfriend from San Jose to Big Sur, which is about 300 miles along 2-lane highway, enjoying the seals along the way and various sea creatures, and then drove back up. But it was just nice to get out. I think, the U.S. is going back and forth on the coronavirus thing, as you know, and I guess European Union's decided that U.S. citizens, like Russians, aren't going to be allowed into their member countries due to COVID. So that'll be exciting. So any that thought about me coming over and seeing a track meet this fall, I think it's kind of shot to hell if they even have them. Let's start from the very top. A American athlete that you know little about, Dick Buerkle, died last week at the age of 72. I believe he had Parkinson's for about 10 or 12 years. He was a real character. He was an Olympian in 76 and 80 at the 5,000 meters, held the world record indoors at the mile, 3:54.9, back in 1978. And he did it at I believe it was in Maryland. And I remember watching it on ABC, because ABC TV at the time would have weekly track meets. They would show us, highlights and stuff. But what was interesting about Buerkle was that he almost didn't make it there. He lived in Buffalo, New York, and Buffalo has terrible snow. So he missed the flights out of Buffalo, got a last-minute flight into D.C., arrived at the track 9 minutes before his race, warmed up for 5 minutes, and ran his personal best mile, 3:54.9, on I believe it was 160 meter track, which is no mean feat because it's all turns. But he beat Steve Prefontaine back in 1975 at an indoor 2-mile, and his response afterwards was a little off color. They asked him what he thought about, and he said he thought about sex during races. And Track and Field News printed his response. You should, people will just probably have to look it up, because I don't want to go any farther than that. But he had a great sense of humor. We did a tribute to him, and a whole group of top Americans and some of the Brits said really nice things about him. He retired at the Weltklasse in 96 after winning the 5,000 that day. So that's kind of a cool way to go out. Got to meet him a couple times. I liked him. He was a Coke executive for a while. And then his last 20 years of his life, he was a high school teacher, taught Spanish, and coached cross country and track. So, he was one of those guys from kind of one of our golden eras in American track and field. Had been bald since he was 12 years old, and which kind of guys would rub his head and give him trouble after races and stuff. But he was a good guy, and we'll keep his family and friends in our prayers.